My name is Danielle Gay. I'm a master's student at Texas State University in the Wildlife Ecology program. My research focuses on identifying the differences in habitat use of coyotes and gray foxes between urban and rural landscapes. And to do that, I use this little contraption here called a camera trap. Its main use is to take photos of wildlife. It has an infrared sensor that detects heat and motion, so anytime an animal walks past it, it automatically takes a photo of them.
What made you decide to use camera trapping for your research?
So I work with an organization in Austin called the Urban Wildlife Information Network, or UIN. We survey wildlife in public parks throughout Austin, Texas, using game cameras. I've been involved with that organization for about 3 years now, and I was able to use their data for my research. I decided to use camera trapping for my thesis research because I was already so heavily involved with the UIN project. But I also realized that there was a lot of free and publicly available data from folks doing camera trapping research and work just like me across the country. Through open source and free databases that hold wildlife information, or specifically camera trapping information, I was able to conduct my research for free.
Why do you like camera trapping?
So I'm interested in photography, and camera trapping is a form of wildlife photography. I personally think it's really fun to set out a camera trap, leave it out for a while, come back and see what happened when no one was around. I think that camera traps allow us a secret window into the wildlife world. They essentially allow us to spy on animals in their natural habitat without any interference of humans. And I just think they provide an interesting view of wildlife. I just personally get excited when I get to look through the photos and see animals interacting with their habitat.
You consider camera trapping to be an approachable science. Can you explain what you mean by that?
On top of being a valuable tool for researchers, camera traps can be incorporated into citizen science projects. They have the potential to open up the world of science to non-scientists. They're relatively easy to learn how to use, and they don't take a lot of equipment. So that's why I consider them an approachable method to science.
Can you explain what citizen science is?
Yeah, so citizen science is an initiative to introduce non-scientists to the science world in a way that is fun, easily accessible, approachable. The whole goal is just to get people to learn about science in various ways, and particularly people who have not had a lot of experience with science. Some examples of citizen science include the Christmas bird count. So that's where folks will go out in the holiday season and they will look and listen for birds, and then they report that data back to the Audubon Society. Another example is called a BioBlitz. It's essentially a timed competition where folks go out and they take a photograph or they document every living thing that they see. So that could be a bug, a bird, a plant. And a lot of participants will they'll take photos or they'll use apps to document what they saw.
How can camera traps be involved in citizen science?
So there are some online platforms where almost anyone with a camera trap can post their photos, and people from around the world can see or use them. Zooniverse is one example where someone who has a camera can post their photos onto the website, and anyone that uses the website is able to help identify the species of animal that are in that photo. There are lots of Zooniverse projects that are set up this way, and so pretty much anyone with internet access has the chance to learn how to identify animal species in photographs and just learn about wildlife across the world. Another example is Wildlife Insights. This is an online database that allows people with camera trap data to store that data in an open source, publicly available site that, again, anyone with internet access can take advantage of. And I actually used the Wildlife Insights database as part of my research. Cameras are expensive. So although I consider them an approachable method for introducing non-scientists to the science world, camera trapping is not as accessible as some other citizen science initiatives, which are usually free or very affordable.
Why is citizen science important?
The importance of citizen science is twofold. Firstly, it engages non-scientists into the science world. And that's really important. We know that people don't spend a lot of time outside or in nature, especially children. And citizen science just gives them an easily accessible and an approachable way to be introduced to science. I wish that I had the opportunity to do citizen science projects when I was a kid. I think that it would have helped me stay more engaged in primary school and meet my goals to become a scientist sooner. Secondly, citizen science provides real and valuable data for people who are doing research. So anytime someone goes out and reports a bird that they saw in a Christmas count or a plant, they take a photo of a plant with a BioBlitz, they are collecting data that scientists can use, from anywhere in the world. And not only that, but they are collecting data that's on a scale that is not obtainable from a small group of researchers. So to give you an example, my research on coyotes and gray foxes used data from over 7,000 cameras from across the United States. That would have been impossible for me to collect on my own. I know that for my research, a lot of those cameras were put out by scientists or research groups, but I'm also proud to know that some of these cameras were just someone's backyard hobby or maybe a school group project. And on top of that, identifying all of the animals in those photos is a feat that not many people can do alone. I definitely did not look at 7,000 cameras worth of photos. Volunteers have a lot to do with photo identification, and I am especially grateful for anyone who has helped with that process. I am passionate about including camera trapping in citizen science, and I hope that as a science community, we continue to involve the public with camera trapping research and provide people the opportunity to learn about the natural world through camera trapping citizen projects.
Why is citizen science important?
Hold on.
Why is citizen science important?
Citizen science?
Why do you like camera trapping so much, you nerd?
Your voice is going to be on this, so...
Oh, I figured you wouldn't really be on there.
No, that's the point of you asking me the questions.
Oh, you really want my voice recorded?
Yes.